Hey, hello, I'm Sanjeev Mathur from Action Coach. Welcome to Business Spotlight, our series of interviews with business owners. We love having these conversations to promote collective learning in the community. And today I have for you Rajesh Lamba. Rajesh is Managing Director of VC Techno Solutions. He has over 15 years of experience in developing and heading businesses for various organizations, especially in IoT products in Indian and Asian markets. It's great to have you with us today, Rajesh.
Thank you, Sanjeev, for having me on board. I really feel good to be part of this.
Fantastic. I'm sure our audience would love to learn about your journey, your transition into business, and really what VC Techno Solutions does. So if you could help us with that, it'll be great to learn about your company.
Great. Okay. VC Techno Solutions is an IoT company which was started during the peak COVID period. And we are the company which make the CCTV cameras smarter. Cameras are often purchased in India as a dead investment. People buy the cameras only for the compliance purpose. They put the cameras, but they do not use it. Okay, only if there is any kind of theft or robbery, then they check the video footage, what actually happened at the site. And then they realize, okay, there was no recording at all. So it is just a dead standalone product which can actually do much more things, which can actually add much more value to the business. Very few people are aware about it. We are creating value out of the CCTV cameras. Just to give you an example, there are certain warehousing customers. We help them in terms of stopping the theft and burglary. We help the restaurant owners in terms of tracking the customers, what type of crowd which is coming to their restaurant, what is the peak day of the week, what is the peak day of the month. We help banks in terms of securing their premises, to securing their vaults. This is what we do, sir.
So it's fantastic. It's not just about the product. It's not just about administering the setup of the network, but it's actually about giving business insights from what the cameras see. Yeah.
Right. So we make the cameras from a dead investment to the most valuable asset, which increases the efficiency and at the same time helps the operations to bring the cost down substantially.
That's terrific. That's really great to know, Rajesh. But it's interesting, you started your business 3 years back, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
So let me ask a question. If you go back 3 years when you started it, what would you do differently if you were to start up again?
The only thing which I regret is that I took so much time to start the business. It was always in my back of mind to start something of my own. I was never satisfied with the deliverables which were provided to the customer. Previously, I was heading the sales in my previous organization. So whatever deliverables were promised by us, I was not satisfied with that. Okay, being in constant touch with customers, I was fully aware. Okay, what was the pulse of the customer? What exactly the customers needed? I took some time to convince myself that okay, this is what I want to do, and I should have actually started very earlier. So that is the only regret that I have.
But help me understand deliverables. I mean, to the layman, a deliverable in a business like this is a box which has a camera in it and probably a service that sort of connects the camera either to a network and to a DVR or to their home, and that's it. And what's the deliverable beyond that you're talking about?
Well, what you said is like basically the supplying of the parts.
Yes.
What I was actually talking was a service related thing. Now, suppose if I am dealing with a bank. Now, any bank, any top PSU bank is having over 40,000, 50,000 ATMs. And we supply cameras, we supply sensors, very small sensors to secure the ATM machine as well as the premises. Now, whether they are working, not working for a site which is as remote as Jammu and Kashmir, the site in charge, when he used to raise a request or raise a complaint, it was very seldom reaching their head office, which is in BKC. Now, for any e-surveillance companies in India till 2020, they were only focusing on big banks having huge volume of business without absolutely zero quality control. For a salesperson like me, I used to sell a Mercedes Benz, but the deliverable which were delivered to the customer was not even matching Maruti 800. And there were some top customers at that time which were extremely demanding. For example, multinational brand like McDonald's, they have couple of hundred outlets across India, but at the back of their mind they know which particular site, which camera is not working and since when it is not working. And to cater to these type of customers, for these type of companies, it was very difficult. I wanted to start my own company, VC Techno Solutions, where V stands for value and C stands for commitment. Till the time we do not create value for our customers, till the time we don't stand on our commitment, we will not go ahead with the customer. First, we'll create the capacity, then only we'll go ahead. And in these 3 years, today we are having over 51 customers, some of the top QSR brands like McDonald's, Pizza Hut, KFC, all of them working with us. Some of the top banks like HDFC Bank, Manapuram, Muthoot, or we are working with all of them, some of the top warehousing companies, total 51 brands. And it is only because of the value and the commitments that we have fulfilled. All these brands are loving us today.
That's amazing. I mean, it's it's really about delivery, quality. I mean, those are, it's not just the product. At the end of the day, value is what's around it. And that's very well put. And it doesn't really matter whether it's a hardware product or it's a service or something like that. It's those are amazing things. And
Right.
For a company that's starting out, that's really quite interesting. But how did you get people to align behind it? I mean, as an employer, what have been your biggest challenges and learnings? I mean, in things like recruitment, training, managing performance, retention, because you need to, when you say C is commitment in VC, you need the people to be able to deliver that commitment.
Well, to answer this question, we created our company behind these two values. Okay, today also value and commitment are the fundamentals. For example, if I just give you an example of a salesperson, if he is selling something to the customer, and if that particular product is much cheaper in Amazon or anywhere else, we don't sell it to the customer. We direct the customer over there that, see, sir, we are not adding any value over here. There is no USP. You can directly go to the market and you can buy the product. But till the time we are not solving the pain of the customer, we do not move. See, ultimately, there has to be a stickiness with the customer. It is not just one transaction that we are interested. It is about building a long-term relationship. Second is the most important factor, what I see over here is the capacity part. I, being into the sales, I was having the relationship with some of the top brands in India, but we never jumped to them at the start of starting the business. We took our own time. We built our capacity. We built our team from 0 till 120 employees. Only after that, once we felt that, okay, now we can cater to that customer, then we moved ahead and we met that customer. Now, to answer your question, is what are the biggest learnings as an entrepreneur? There are basically two fundamental learnings which I got in these last 3 years. The very first thing which I learned as an entrepreneur, that business is not about selling anything. It took time because I was a salesperson. I always believed in meeting targets, achieving targets, overachieving targets. And when I came to this side, it is actually quite opposite. It is not about selling. It is about accumulating the assets, accumulating the right type of people, bringing the best product in the market. Okay, creating the best team around you, and training them, providing them with the best training, and thinking about how to deliver more to your customers. Even if you have one customer, thinking about customer delight, sales automatically happens.
Yeah. It's amazing because, if you're talking about 51 customers across the country, managing, I don't know whether your people are all over the country or they're in.
So I am the only salesperson in this organization, and remaining 119 people are there to serve my customers. So this is the value and culture which I was talking about that we have created.
I love that word, the culture, because, without culture, without everybody knowing what's expected, what's the common behavior, how do we work, how do we speak to people, how do we treat customers and each other. It's hard to bring about that kind of commitment. So value and commitment, because
Right.
most people just, like a sales guy says, here's my target, I need to achieve it. A service guy says, this is the bare minimum I need to do, and then I can move on, basically meeting the SLA and stuff like that. But creating value is more than that, and it takes culture. And so,
Yeah, I was going by, when I started this company, I was reading a book on TCS, and I remembered a line at that time when this was a fundamental when they started this company is, what are you creating for the society?
mm,
Okay, first you have to create something for the society. Automatically, it compounds for your stakeholders, and that is what, as a company, we are a very, very small and humble company. But then this has really made a word to us, and we are following that. That first we have to create the value. Automatically, sales automatically happens.
uh,
Second, what I wanted to say for young entrepreneurs, those who are getting into the business, this is extremely important. Since we are a bootstrapped company, becoming a profitable venture for us was extremely important, and this happened at a very early stage.
mm,
Okay, and what we learned is cash flow is extremely important than making profit.
mm,
Having huge margins on book, say 40%, 50%, but it is not realized into the money, is of no value. It is better that you make less margins and rotate your money again and again. The more you rotate the money, is the more money you make. Don't focus on the profits. Don't focus on the money. Focus on serving your customers. Focus on making minimum margins, but do the transactions again and again, and you will survive any type of time.
so we're talking about just the velocity of rotating the money around, and therefore,
Yes,
velocity becomes important, and then the same amount of money generates more and more
absolutely.
time later.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. That's great to know. But just tell me, I mean, you came in from the corporate world, and you came in from a sales kind of background into entrepreneurship. I'm sure there must have been some misconceptions about running a business. What were they, and how did you address them?
Well, you also pointed out on this previously that the most common misconception of starting the business is that you have your own time in the world. You can get up at any particular time and you can start your work, and you can end your work at any particular time of time, a particular time. But it is actually not possible for an entrepreneur to do. Just if I give you an example of a restaurant owner, he runs his restaurant during the weekends. He runs his restaurant to feed the customer during the late nights.
Mhm.
He runs his restaurant. He has to run his restaurant during the holidays also. So the liberty for a restaurant owner is not to take the holidays when his customers are taking the holidays. You have to work when your customers are actually taking the holidays.
That's right.
Similarly, for us also, we cater to restaurants, we cater to banks so that they can enjoy their holidays. Entrepreneurs are the people, those who work in the background actually,
Yeah.
and people feel that they actually can take their leave. It is not true. You have to slog it out for the initial period.
Yeah.
Till the time your baby grows and your team starts taking their own decisions. Initially, you have to work hard. So
And
this is
thereafter, I suppose, if you have your systems and processes and teams in place, then you really ought to, as an entrepreneur, work as an entrepreneur and not as an employee in your company who's slogging 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. And I think that's a transition that many business people don't make very successfully.
I remember I met one of the CEO of a very big company. He advised me that when you start a business is like a very small baby. For first 2 years, like you micromanage your baby. What is baby putting in his mouth? What is he catching? Where is he sitting? Etc. Etc. And once the baby starts growing, he becomes more of your friend. You stop interfering into day-to-day operations. I believe business is also exactly the same. At the start of the period, you have to micromanage each and everything, and once it starts growing, you have to just take a back seat, and as a friend, as an advisor, you can just become an advisor and let the team take charge of the entire business, and you just enjoy how it grows. That's it.
Great. So, obviously, my next question is related to what you just said. How do you balance your time between work and life?
Well, as I told you, that since it was the initial days, it was quite difficult for me to balance my personal life. But then I was having an extremely strong family support, which is very much needed in the initial stage where family understands that you are sacrificing your time for them, you are building something for them, and over a period of time, once this baby becomes bigger, you will have much more time to spend with them. And previously I was not getting much of the time to spend with the family, but now I see to it that I at least get one day in a week to spend with them.
That's excellent. I mean, how many hours a day do you work? Just as out of curiosity.
I start my day in the morning around 7:45, 8, and sometimes it ends during the night 10, sometimes during midnight also. Sometimes I end up my day at 3 p.m. in the afternoon also, depending upon what is the agenda of the day. But yes, there is no time to end the day.
So 6 into 12.
6 into 12.
Mind me, we should talk about that at some point in time, of course, later on. So that's great. But then, I mean, I would imagine that there's a solid team that's supporting you to enable you to work with so many clients. I mean, what just for the benefit of our listeners, what are the top 2 or 3 qualities you look for in the people that work for you, and how do you foster say a positive, productive work environment in the organization?
Well, there's only one quality which I want in my team member. Rest, all the skill sets I believe can be built. And this is the way I have been building my team in my previous organizations also. And some of them are heading at the APAC level, national level, global level also in some of the top companies in the world. Now, the desire to learn, the
Mm.
person who is hungry to learn, you can only teach that person.
Mm.
If the person doesn't want to learn, if he feels that he knows everything, then it becomes very difficult. And this is what I seek in my employees. I was reading a book on Elon Musk where he has very clearly said that first 100 employees in his organization was personally interviewed by him,
Mm.
because these 100 employees will take the culture of his organization forward. So, till date, all the employees, those who joined the company, okay, the last round, I want to meet them. I want to see whether they can meet the culture of my company or not, whether they have a desire, a hunger to learn something new or not. So, this is extremely important for me. And if they have a desire to learn, they can move mountains. They can do anything.
Of course, that's terrific because um, uh, you know a related challenge, and I don't know if you face it, is a lot of people feel they want to learn, but they don't actually invest any time in it, time or
Yes.
effort in it.
Yes, I am correct.
So, is that something that you see around with the people you hire, or do you have the systems in place to make sure that doesn't arise?
So what we do when we started our company, as I told you that we were bootstrapped. For each and every task, there was one single person only.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, in a clog, in a wheel, if one particular thing was not working, it used to be highlighted almost instantaneously. We used to come that, okay, this is the person who is facing challenge, and let us work around with him and see how we can solve this particular problem.
Mm.
And this is the way we started our journey. And since it was from scratch, right from accounts to packing to warehousing to logistics, everything has been handled by us. So we envisaged what kind of problems that a team can face, and we started building the processes around. For us, our processes are quite different from any organized company. We are quite agile. While I was working in my previous company, for any shipment post order, the material to move, it used to take 7 to 8 days. There was quality control, there was finance, there were so many departments involved into it. When they used to finally give the approval, then the material used to move. Till
Mm.
that time, customer used to wait. But now we have created the processes around customer. Our materials move within 24 hours. We
Excellent.
have created everything in that way that it has to happen within 24 hours, because that is what is the customer expecting. So this is what we have done.
At the people level, does this help you sort of improve retention, or is it just retention is one of those things. If people leave It's like what people say, if you train people, they may leave, but if you don't train them, imagine what they'll do if they stay. So do you have a lot of do you have good retention? Would you like to share something about that?
Well, our team is basically divided into two different parts. Okay, one part is basically a strategic team or a leadership team, which works along with us. Okay, and they are responsible to growing their departments under them. Now there is also a second level of team, which is nothing but monitoring executives or people those who are working at a ground level. At this particular level, stopping the retention is quite difficult. There is a high amount of people leaving the organization. Here, we always think of how we can be better in terms of providing them. For example, we have provided them with toolkits. Now we are working upon providing them with e-bikes also, which nobody has done till date in the industry. We are providing them with t-shirts. We are providing them with uniform, wind cheaters, umbrellas, which never happened in my previous organization. These are the small perks which make them stick around with the company. But the core fundamental, that is the leadership team, I have aligned them with the vision of the organization. Okay. The person who have the same kind of belief are the people, those who are in the core team, which are actually drawing the company forward.
That's excellent. So I have one last question for you, Rajesh. The economy is on a roll at this time. What do you see as your biggest opportunities and challenges in the next 12 months?
Okay. In the next 12 months, I am quite excited about. So we spent quite a lot of time in terms of developing and launching one of our product, which we just now launched. And I am quite excited about it. The product is called as a CCTV doctor. Just very similar to a doctor. What does a doctor do? It does a health monitoring. Similar to that, it does a health monitoring of all the systems which customers have. It ensures that all the system is always up, running, and connected. Over and above that, we have added quite a lot of USPs like OTP-based ticketing system. We provide a comprehensive AMC with a single SLA anywhere in India, no matter whether the customers is having his sites in Seven Sisters or Jammu Kashmir or in Mumbai. Single SLA, single point of contact, anything going down, we come to know it is replaced till the time customer knows within 24 hours it is replaced also. We ensure that everything is up, running and connected. This product took lot of time in terms of development, and now we are seeing the love of our customers. They are accepting it. We have around about 40,000 cameras connected to this product within last couple of months since it got launched, and I am seeing that in next 12 months, this is a product which will take us to the next orbit where we want to see our company to move. And this is the only opportunity which is in front of us. Yes, challenges are always there. In terms of challenge in next 12 months is that to get a right skilled manpower is quite difficult. Okay, there are traditional positions for that people are open in the market to work, but there is specific requirement related to CCTV industry,
Yeah.
and to get the people related to this industry, it becomes quite difficult. And this industry is very small. People know each other very well, so it becomes very difficult to hire a new person for a specific role. Otherwise, I there are only opportunities around.
Yeah, it's really about building the team and therefore scaling the business to a certain point. And I think but this sounds like an exciting product because the rate at which stuff is changing here, the rate at which all the industries that you spoke about are expanding is quite amazing. And just being able to work with 51 customers is going to keep you quite busy. More importantly, having a doctor around to address those issues should be a very interesting proposition for your customers.
Right.
So thanks so much for those insights, Rajesh.
Thank you.
It's been great to have you share your perspective with the community. Just wanted to ask, is there anything else that you'd like to share with our viewers?
Well, I want to. It was not possible alone to start my journey and bring my company to this level. I want to tell to your viewers also and to everyone around that I attribute my growth to my founding team, to the team, if they would have not been with me, my co-founder, Mr. Ashok Kumar, and the other founding team, if they would have not been, I don't know whether I would have reached at this level in this journey or not. It was because of my team. The entire credit goes to them. It was because of their relentless and hard work during weekends, weekdays, festivals. I don't know. I mean, sleepless nights, continuous sleepless nights for so many days. It was because of them we have reached at this level. And for any entrepreneur to start his own journey, the most important thing is the core team, the founding team that he is having. They should be committed, not towards the money, but to the vision and mission that the company is having. Otherwise, it becomes very difficult for any company to be successful.
Well,
That's it.
that's amazing. You have a great team, and I wish you all great success in the coming years.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Cheers.
Cheers.